Hey everybody, Rick here with Game Trade Media. We're coming to you with the first look at Overlight, the RPG by Renegade Game Studios. Whoa.
So I need folks to make.
But I do have a question. Is Norba too heavy and too large for me to potentially?
Yes. So you're about this big.
Right.
Right. So as I mentioned to Molly earlier, there is actually a Tyrexian chroma that allows you to do sort of superhuman feats while flying, whether it's speed or stamina.
Okay.
Can I grab her as we explode since I was hanging out with her?
Sure.
I can use my root thingy.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, you want to use root to hold on to her?
Yes.
Okay.
All right, so that's compassion and vigor.
Yep.
So I need... What do I have? I need 3 10s. And
She gets splinters, that's on you.
And 3d6.
So what does this do?
If it works, the vines and branches of my body will grow out and grasp to form an unnaturally strong grip upon an object, a person, or the earth itself.
Wow.
So yeah, so she's the
right.
vines are reaching out and she's holding on to Norma to make sure.
Yeah.
Yeah, she's protecting Norma with her own body basically.
6 and a 9 and a 6 and a 6 and a 4.
Nice.
Okay, so that's so
expensive.
4 is, well, it's not bad, but it's expensive in this case. So it will cost you 4 spirit points to get that going.
I'm gonna.
So, well, you don't get the choice.
Okay.
So yeah, so even if you failed, it would still cost you 4 spirit points.
Okay.
So reduce your spirit pool by 4.
Okay.
And again, for the benefit of the rest of folks at the table, go ahead and read the radiant description of your root power.
So for the radiant one, your grip is very strong and load-bearing. It lasts until the end of the scene or combat.
Right. So scene is just is an abstract way that we refer to sort of chunks of story. So obviously this particular scene would probably be just the just the landing, as it were, of the of the thing, but maybe a little bit more depending on how the adventure is structured and the choices the game master makes.
Okay.
So as part of the ship explodes and everybody goes careening out into the sky, you manage to wrap up Norba in this protective grasp. And I need, not you, I'll come back to you in a minute, but the rest of you, I need you to make a resistance or athletics roll. It's your choice. As you're sense spinning.
Sure.
And you can make a Windlord check.
All right.
But you're basically what this is what's called a hazard roll.
All right.
And it's similar to an open test. And if you win the open test, you won't take any damage. If you lose the open test, you'll take damage based on how well I rolled. But you're against a lower roll because you can fly.
But it's still all 7 dice, right? So if
Correct.
you're doing athletics.
Unless you're untrained.
It's vigor and athletics if you chose that one.
I'm doing resistance,
And
but I get nothing for. I'm
you
not
get,
trained.
you get AD6.
So you get 86.
Oh, right,
So if you're untrained, you get a single d6. Right. So you're just looking for the highest possible number.
Oh,
8.
8.
And if you roll a 4 on the spirit die, you may add 1 to that number.
No.
Nope.
Just give you the highest possible number on
The
the
highest number that you rolled.
7.
7, 8, 8,
9.
9. I'm going to have to make a separate roll for you because it's not as disastrous for you because you can fly.
You're fiddly.
What's that?
But I'm wondering if I can help,
I said he's fiddly.
like, glide, instead of actually help someone glide to a softer landing. Maybe.
I don't think so. Okay. You're pretty, like, basically you're the size of a...
Yeah. You're,
A turkey.
Yeah.
Yeah. I kind of figured that, but
Yeah. I don't think you could pick up like a toddler.
I'm not asking to
and
pick anybody up.
fly.
I'm asking just to air resistance. Like,
I think I weigh about
Like
like
kite.
500 pounds.
Yeah.
I would-
yeah, right.
I feel like you're going to be okay, actually.
I'll
But I
probably
feel
be.
like
Right.
the
I might
human-
even land on my feet.
Human, soft, squishy.
Cracky bones.
7, 8, 8. And what did you roll?
A 9,
9. Okay, you're fine.
of course.
The two of you are going to take 2 points of damage.
Okay.
And you will take a single point of damage. I'm sorry. I got that backwards. 2 of you take a single point of damage, and you take 2 points of damage.
Okay.
So from the top of your wound track, you're going to gently cross out the first square, the first 2 squares.
Okay.
Right. Okay. So and the way that works is anything that's a white square is a wound that is the sort of thing that they're scrapes and bumps and bruises. They will go away at the end of the scene or at the end of the combat. But anytime you cross over one of those red squares, that is a dramatic wound, and they will not heal until the end of the story or the end of the adventure, unless you get sort of mid-story assistance in some way, whether that's a wise woman with some some sort of salve or something, or whether it's
Those are two of my least favorite words in the same sentence.
What's that?
Unguent and salve.
Oh, well, glad to be of assistance. Yeah. They're probably both rather moist in feeling, if that's one of your words.
No, I'm
I never understood that. Yeah, I don't have least favorite words.
You should.
Yeah, not with simply mouthfeel anyway.
The day's still young.
Yeah. We've got some ways to go. Okay, so so you sort of come to an awkward crash land / roll in the snow, and you're fine. You sort of pull yourself up and
Shake it up.
and shake your feathers out.
Yeah. Check my scrolls. That was
Yeah,
a good name for it.
yeah. The rest of you land in such a way that you're remarkably unharmed in any meaningful way, and it seems like the snow mostly spared you any worse injury.
Nice.
But the ship itself is in pieces, and you are sort of near the smoldering remains of part of the ship. Whereas, just barely as some of you are coming to you or pulling your face out of the snow, you can see another part of the ship, sort of land in a streaking black smoky trail, off near the horizon.
That's not good.
Should we
So
investigate?
what part of the ship are we? Like the ship broke apart, right?
Correct.
And we are in a part that broke off first, and the rest is trailing away from us.
I'm guessing we're probably in
one direction.
the forward aspect of it, and the rest where the overlight kind of still pushed it through after it broke off. Is it kind of what we're looking at?
I'm sorry, repeat that?
So if this is the ship, and the front piece would break off and kind of crash, it would have been us, and the overlight engine still pushed through the other one into a further.
Yeah, very
crash
likely. Yeah,
Okay.
yeah. I mean, there was enough momentum of the thing, like it exploded midair, and sort of bits sort of
Yeah.
continued, and you were probably in a heavy part or whatever.
I'm gonna just fall back on my, waste not, want not mentality and see if I can scavenge anything from the section of the ship we crashed in.
And
Okay.
is there any other survivors in our general vicinity?
You're gonna go check for survivors.
I feel like
And you're gonna
we
check
can
for
call out for
supplies.
I'm gonna
survivors.
check for any type of equipment that might be, or weapons that might be of use to us.
Okay.
Yeah.
Can I look to see if there's any dangerous wildlife or anything around us that we need to be immediately concerned about?
Sure. Okay. So, you make me a perception roll, or beast raise roll, and then you're looking for stuff. You can make me a perception roll,
Okay.
and then let me take care of these guys, and then I'll come back to you.
All right. Because I'm literally just going to call out. Anybody alive?
There is a Traxian chroma power that lets you almost telepathically squawk.
Nice.
Yeah.
We don't need that.
Did you roll?
Nope, waiting.
Okay. All right.
I have one. Everything's fine, guys.
So you could spend a point of spirit to kick it over to a radiant.
Yeah, I'm gonna.
Okay. All right. So you do a bit of a. Well, what are you doing with Norba? So do you release her from your supernatural viney grip?
Oh no, she's coming with me.
Okay. All right. Yeah, but you're not like holding onto her. Like one presumes you were almost like wrapping her up.
Yeah, now
Yeah.
now I'm kind of like wearing her like a little Yoda backpack.
Nice.
Okay. All right. Fair enough.
Even though she's probably bigger than me.
Yeah. She's. I mean, well, bigger than your
Yeah.
sort of furry interior. But yeah. Okay. Okay. So you sort of walk the perimeter to kind of make sure that there's nothing coming to eat anybody.
Mm-hmm.
And
I
Larry,
got
what'd you roll?
two successes and a 4.
Okay, so the 4 allows you to add a spirit point. So you just add one automatically.
Okay.
So because you rolled 2, so remember the levels are 2, 4, 6. So if you had odd amounts, the 4 would automatically kick you over.
Okay.
And if you have even amounts, they give you a point back in spirit.
Okay. So,
So-
just add one to my spirit pool.
Right.
Okay.
So so since you've added a point of spirit, we'll say that you've managed to find some food, some of the sort of the stash of more of the traveling food.
Okay.
That you can collect, and in preparation for whatever
Okay.
horrible foot journey you're gonna have to do. So you go ahead and just call out.
Yeah, I'm just calling out. Anybody else make it? If you can hear my voice, come to my voice.
Okay, you hear in response you can barely just hear kind of a groan and a barely audible like I'm here.
Dang it.
Under the wreckage? Is that
He
where is
said
it coming from?
he said I could barely hear it. But so I'll go towards it because obviously the groaning, moaning voice isn't coming towards me.
Okay.
I see my old teacher wandering off. I'll just follow.
Okay. It is in fact the captain. The captain is beneath a rather large piece of wreckage.
Wow, that sucks.
And there's a slowly increasing pool of red around him. Like he's not long for the world.
Oh, wow.
But he's still conscious as this thing is sort of like holding him together.
Yeah.
You know, if you were lifted,
Keeping
you
him
imagine.
compressed. If you lift it,
Yep.
he's going to bleed out really fast.
Yeah.
Okay.
I pull out the scroll with the map, and I was like, "We were supposed to go here." And
Poor guy.
is there any? I'll let him know because I'm compassionate. I'll let him know that thank you for bringing us this far. We appreciate everything you did for us. You probably are going to pass soon, and in that, is there anything you would like us to pass to your kin or folk?
He's got one arm free.
He slaps me.
And he's sort of, he's sort of barely mumbling under his breath, like, I'm sorry. And he reaches up and he unlatches the buckle that holds his mask on, and he slides it off of his face, and with a trembling hand he hands his mask towards you.
Okay, I will
says,
take it.
I was born Lucian Verena. This mask belonged to my father called Zeno Verena, and his mother called Zeno Verena, and her mother called Zeno Verena. I had hoped to continue my family's legacy. I thought I had more time, but time is a curious thing.
You don't have much time left, so what else you got? Dang it. Do you have family? Do you have a child that this can go? Why?
Tiny taloned hands to this guy.
Why? All right.
So I assume that we can bring this back to the
House Arena.
House Arena. And
Sure,
they'll-
yeah.
He's part of the biggest house, right? So it's-
Yeah, the
Won't
house that controls the airships
won't be
yeah.
too difficult to track
So
down.
somebody can write that down under valuable, in fact, if you were so crass as to want to trade it away at some point. But
It's-
who knows?
it's,
Who knows?
it's
Things
too
might
big
get
for me.
desperate.
I'll take it.
All right.
Yeah. So write it down. Yeah.
It's
So
too big for
yeah.
me.
House of Arena mask.
Yeah. Captain Zeno Verena's, Aramel mask. And just as point of interest for those of you, like if you make an Aramel character, the gift that the Aramel characters get is you can actually spend character points to decide what generation your mask is.
Oh, wow.
And that gives you social bonuses when interacting with other Aramel.
Nice.
Which is neither here nor there, but a fun little detail about how that works.
So what's the weather like where we've crashed?
It is.
How-
It is heavily snowing, but it's not like brutal dying in the wind immediately. But it's. I mean, you'll need a source of heat relatively soon, or things are going to get ugly.
Okay. So do we want to set up camp here? Recover?
Is there a based on where we landed? Looking at the map that we have,
Sure.
Can we get a sense of where we are in
Yeah.
relevance to where we're going?
Yeah. So you can at this point you can kind of make out the smoky smear upon the horizon where the rest of the ship landed, and it's in that general direction, which is toward toward the temple where you're headed. There is a mountain which you know to look for beyond a valley, and the mountain is where the temple is.
Well, I'm guessing if there's smoke in the horizon, it can't be too far. That's a source of heat. Maybe we could go there and
We can. I can make heat.
Yeah.
Oh.
If we
And
need
it
to.
can extinguish by the time we get there. We should probably, unless, it's within like a half a day's hike, we should probably seek shelter.
Can I fly kind of
Well,
up?
can you use the map to determine how long of a trip that we?
Let me see your pencil real quick.
Sure.
We can determine distance, but,
so-
Well, I'm saying to get to our final, like how many days is it going
Wanna
to
go
take
ahead
us?
and
What do we
use-
need to plan for?
The protractor and kind of figure out.
Make me a science check.
All right.
Nice try.
All right.
I don't know. Are we a day away or are we weeks away? How dire is it?
Dang, that 5 is always popping up there. There we go. Just a radiant.
So 2, but you do get to add a point of spirit, though.
All right. Back up.
Yeah, it's probably maybe 2 or 3 days. It's hard to say because of the terrain
Okay.
and the weather.
Too bad.
Okay.
Yeah,
so,
it's bad, but it's not that bad.
Can I make a survival roll to determine what the closest source of shelter would be?
Sure. And that's more of a knowledge-based thing. So we're going to call that survival plus logic instead of survival vigor.
Okay.
And then once that's, how is Norba doing? Like, is she uninjured and just?
So yeah, so Algier managed to protect her completely from the fall with the fast acting. Oh, you got some 12s in there, huh?
Oh wait. Oh, sorry. The survival
Survival's
plus,
D6.
plus. Oh, sorry. I thought it was supposed to be 10s. My fault.
Oh yeah,
Bad.
roll that. I was gonna say I didn't think you had 12s in anything. So yeah, so 3d6 and 3d10
Okay. Sorry.
plus the spirit die.
This is where we're going to get our legendary.
Not with all those 1s and 2s, you're not.
Curses.
That is a flat failure.
Yeah.
There's
Is that
nothing.
Nothing.
That's a 5.
Yeah,
Dang it, that
nothing.
5.
Yeah.
Do we need,
Hey,
to,
I'm
do we need
a-
to start fresh with you?
I'm an-
1, 2, 3, 4, 5.
I'm an urban
6.
dweller. You know, I'm an urban dweller.
Right.
So you put me in the mountains.
Yeah.
Yeah.
My
Yeah.
my survival skills probably aren't all that.
Clearly,
yeah.
clearly the closest source of shelter is the inn. Where's
Yeah.
the inn?
Yeah.
I pull out a scroll.
There are no taverns around, so I'm out a lot of options.
Well, I look directly at the wreckage
Uh-huh.
and kind of think, we could probably build something out of this wreckage, a little lean-to
Yeah, I
or
would
something,
think so.
Oh, sure.
and utilize your hands as a heat source, or you just, isn't this how it works?
Well, it's anywhere from I can create flame from my hand that could light something to I can create something on the ground,
Right.
to something that would be very bad for us.
Well, so the nature of so any time in which there are sort of escalating levels of success, you may always choose to have a lower level. If that's
Okay.
Yeah. So it's not.
Yes,
It's
because
not like I might blow something up.
Yeah.
Yeah. The only uncertainty comes from how many.
Yeah,
spirit
the brilliant
potions.
version of this is not a campfire.
It's like it's like a nova explosion.
Yeah, it's a
supernova.
It's arguably an attack.
Yeah.
All right. And also, I feel like maybe some of the wreckage could be used as maybe a sled to pull if we need to pull anything.
Sure.
Yeah. But that's just all coming from the scroll that I happen to have and pull out.
Sure.
On survival, the lost ways.
Yeah. It's a good thing, though. So we might need some kindling.
No, you're fine.
Yeah.
Not you.
No.
Scrolls.
From the,
Right.
Well, they are made from bark paper. Banyari bark
Why do you
paper.
keep doing
bark
this to my people?
And Yari Marker. That's horrible.
So did we decide, are we going to stay here for the night? Or is it late in the day?
Well, remember, there's no days
Yeah.
to say. So,
Well, in the cycle, are
yeah.
we-
So you're up high enough in the stack that it's almost constant light, but for the fact that Zenith tends to be beneath Nova more often than not. So it's kind of a gray. You know, if you imagine the light of a gray snowy day,
Right.
that's pretty almost constant on Zenith.
But if we stay here, sleep, rest. I mean, everybody's been through a lot. We just
Yeah.
fell out of the
Sure.
sky.
Yeah,
Right.
I agree.
Okay.
we just crack. Let's take a nap.
Yeah.
Just
Yeah.
Sleep
Now
is off.
warm up before we start.
So I pull out that scroll on how to build a lean-to, and I kind of show it to the larger humanoid types that can go ahead and make that, because obviously I can't lift anything here.
You can be
So
the foreman.
I'll be the foreman and direct how it should be done, as a tutor would do.
Did I see anything with
You did
questionable
not.
wildlife?
You didn't. No. But the snow is just dense enough that it's hard to really make out much stuff on the horizon, anyway, as it's coming down. But you don't get any sense of, stalking apex predators or anything. Like, yeah.
All right.
well, I guess we might as well build a campfire.
Okay. So I guess I'll use. So we don't have any other normal ways of starting a fire.
So the wood was the airship made of wood.
So there are some wooden components, but it's mostly metal.
Okay. But
So-
is there any wood as part of the wreckage near where we landed?
There's a little bit, sure. Yeah.
Okay, so
Well, there's also just like belongings and
Yeah.
some fabric and things. But
So-
I gather whatever flammable I could find.
Okay.
And something if there's any piece of metal I could like plant it upon, like
Oh, sure.
to radiate heat.
Right. Okay.
Okay, so that's fine. I mean, if at the lowest level of this chroma power, I can light something. At the middle of the radiant level, basically I create a campfire that will burn naturally forever. It says naturally thereafter. Does that mean we have to continue to feed it?
Oh yes,
Or is
yeah.
it-
I mean,
so we have to
I'm
continue
sorry.
to feed
Yeah,
it.
yeah.
It's not
Correct. Yeah. It burns
magical in
once it's
nature,
started. It burns out naturally.
okay.
Yeah.
All right.
So someone's gonna have to stand vigil and maybe get their order there.
Yeah.
I get what?
Right.
It's a Boy Scout thing. Yeah.
Oh.
I know Scott works with Scouts.
Yeah. Okay, so
Yeah.
wisdom and might. So
I dropped
roll-
out of Cub Scouts after somebody took home my gingerbread house that I had made for my mom, and somebody took the wrong one. That was it. That was all she wrote. I was out.
So I roll my wisdom and might dice.
Correct. It's wisdom plus might is the chroma.
So all my d10s.
Nice.
That's not awful.
No,
yeah.
that's
So
not
and
awful at all.
the spirit die as well.
All right. Why are they all mixed up?
They were right there.
Oh yeah.
Together.
There we go. And my spirit.
Big money.
That's not awful. There's some tens in there. Is that a 7?
That's a 7.
Yep.
Yeah.
So 4. And I rolled a 3.
4. Okay. So you rolled a 3. So that's the campfire level.
All right.
So yeah. So
Yep.
it cost you 3 spirit points.
Yep.
And then channeling. What was it? It was might and wisdom.
And wisdom.
So yeah, so purple. Sort of channeling the purple and red light. Through you cause the pile of stuff that the Davka has collected to burst into flame, and it's not long before you have a merrily burning campfire.
Nice.
All right.
We'll build a shelter, lean-to around the fire, so that
Okay.
we can not have to deal with the rest of the environmentals.
All right. So the idea here is being that you're just going to sort of rest and catch your breath.
Yeah.
You
See
know-
if we can scavenge some food. Did
I
we-
already got
Okay.
that.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
you already
Davka
found that,
successfully found the stores.
Yeah. Excellent.
So okay.
Okay. We don't have to eat any one.
Right.
I mean,
So we're all gonna take a nap. Is somebody gonna stay and watch? What's the plan here?
I'll stand watch.
Okay.
yeah.
Yeah.
I would love to take a nap. Flying down and landing so, took a lot of energy out of me. So, and this brain needs rest. I can't use it all the time. You guys got to help me out here. You guys that were given brains by the light. You could use them. And I find a corner and sleep.
All right.
Awful. Okay. All right. Safe to assume that you're kind of hanging out with Norba.
Yeah, I'm gonna watch her while she goes to sleep.
Okay. All right.
I might photosynthesize. We'll see.
Oh, okay. All right. Alrighty. Scott, Naya, give me a perception roll.
Some wisdom.
And we're gonna do an open test.
Okay.
What's your highest number?
Oh, my highest. Oh, that's right. Just
Yes.
open test.
Yes,
Yep.
sir. A
10.
10. Okay. Alrighty. So you're just gonna hang out with Norba and sort of just make sure she falls asleep and.
Yeah, I'm gonna try and arrange my branches over so she has like an extra shelter because his probably sucked.
I didn't build it. You all built it.
Okay. So and the rest of you sort of allowing yourselves to doze off and try to get some rest. Naya, however, during your watch, you think you sense sort of just beyond your scope of vision through the falling snow, a large four-legged beast. So you sort of see it pass, just beyond the haze of snow, and then it's gone. And at first you thought you might have been seeing things, but then you sort of see the shape again, and you're not sure what's going on out there, whether it's one or many. But you get the sense that something is stalking out the wreckage.
All right. So over what period of this is one instance or a couple times I kind of see.
It's a couple
what am I-
times, yeah, and it's sort of getting progressively closer. It's
Okay.
It's sort of feeling out.
Okay. So you guys are all kind of napping.
Yeah, pretty much.
You know,
I'm awake. I'm
resting
just
your
not terribly
eyes.
paying attention.
Yeah. Okay. Well, I just kind of go, Algier. Try to kind of be quiet. I don't worry too much about Stokely. 'Cause
Wow.
In a fight, like you're not going to be the first person
No.
that's gonna like wake up.
I am devastated. And devastated by that comment.
It's for your own protection.
Oh, okay.
I just don't want you to see you get hurt. So I just kind of whisper to these guys, and without creating too much commotion.
What?
So that worked well. So there's something out there. I'm not sure if there's one something or many somethings, but there's definitely something out just within the tree line.
What kind of something?
Snow line. A snow line. I'm sorry, I might have misspoke.
Oh,
It's-
snow
it's-
line.
It's past the point of visibility of the
I
snow.
thought you
Yeah.
said snow lion.
Yeah, so now
That's what I thought he said at first.
Yeah.
How many snow lions? No. Snow. Yeah. So just beyond the snow line.
So, I try to like see what he says he saw.
Oh, okay. Make your perception roll.
Okay.
Can I do beast ways to see if I can?
Sure.
Oh, damn it.
I have 1 success, but I rolled a 4.
Okay, so that's as good for radiant.
Okay.
Yep.
That's
You also
two.
have radiant.
Two.
Okay. All right. So neither of you get a clear view, but there's clearly something out there. It's a horrible choice of words. Neither of you get a clear view, but there is obviously something out there that's just kind of staying beyond your line of sight, like just past the visibility of the snow. But it seems to be kind of pacing in a circle around your camp. You get the sense that it's definitely stalking one or more of you, and it's looking for the right moment to strike.
Oh, it's gonna use me as a scratching post, isn't it?
No, it's not you specifically. It's just that you rolled,
Okay.
you rolled with beast ways, so
Okay.
you get the sense that yeah.
There's, it could wake me up and I could fly above to kind of scout this out.
I
Unless I'm the scrumptious
I-
morsel in which it's sent, it's picking up.
I guess. And I could walk away from the camp to see if it focuses attention on me instead of the camp, and if not, flank it. All right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
I think we definitely want to wake him up. We don't want him asleep.
Yeah. Wake
But-
up, Zachary.
Yeah. So it's like, I tell you, shh, no squawking.
Get off me. What have I told you about this?
Sneaking all cutely with one wing, like curled over your face.
Picturing Big Bird in its nest. Yeah.
Right?
Is he making the little big bird snory sound too?
Yeah.
That like.
So you're gonna go off.
I'm gonna
A distance and we go
yeah,
up?
you go up. I go off at a distance, and if it starts like moving in my direction, holler.
All right. So I get my power pose and one wing down and shake the other one, and launch myself into the sky.
That's not the
You've
way
always
that
liked
works.
No, that's not the way that
You've
works.
always liked that.
No.
When you were a
See-
younger child, you would clap your hands vigorously when I would do this.
I agree. My memory from my childhood is much different than the way you just described that. I can remember frantic flapping and failed attempts, and then eventually making it into the air. But that
Little Naya laughing so hard she hyperventilated.
That's right. I mean,
I
At
thought
the
it was
silly,
all
at the
joy.
silly turkey.
I mean-
do the turkey dance again. Do the turkey dance again.
I mean, maybe the memories of a child.
It's
are
the
clouded,
Taraxian terror
but-
strike.
That's a different chroma. You don't have that one.
Dang it.
All right, make me a win-low roll. It is. Normally I wouldn't call for win-low rolls, but because of the the driving snow, it is a little more complicated than simply
Okay.
fluttering.
Power
about.
launching,
And power launching.
Well,
whatever you.
So that's radiant, unless you want to kick it over the spirit point.
Yeah, I'll kick it over with the spirit
Okay,
point.
all right, so up you go. So I'll come back to you in a minute. I need you to make me a survival check.
Okay.
Or beast ways if you prefer.
I do not have beast ways, so survival it is.
All right. And just give me an open test, actually.
I just love the sound of all those dice.
5.
That's not good. Okay.
Yeah.
All right. Yeah, I mean, and that's sort of part of the fun, right?
Yeah.
Like I always feel like the tactile nature of what kind of dice you're rolling in any given role playing game is sort of part of its
absolutely.
identity, right?
And
So
one
yeah,
of the
so
best
having a double fist of 7 dice all the time.
So
is kinda fun.
in the fantasy games, when you're rolling those six-siders for that huge fireball, always gave you like that sense of But the fact you get to do that with every roll
almost
here,
every roll.
yes,
Yeah. And it's also a little sad. You're like, oh, I'm untrained. Oh, I only have 5 dice. So
yeah,
like,
it's still
right?
awesome.
Right. Yeah, for what it's worth, as a game master, you're rolling all manner of quantities. It's not always 7 because
Nice.
Sort of monster stat blocks, if you will, are
Different.
yeah, they're simplified.
Okay.
Yeah. Okay, so
5.
you got 5. Okay, and then you. Okay, all right. So, so Davka sort of wraps her face up in a scarf or a bit of cloth or something, and sort of and walks out into the snow.
Okay.
And you fly up into the air, and it's a bit difficult at first. The wind and the snow is you come from a jungle, right? But you've spent some time on other shards, so it's not completely unfamiliar to you. It's just not ideal. So from your vantage point, you see Davka go into the snow, and she appears to be completely oblivious to the fact that what you ultimately see is this large creature sort of slowly pacing her and reducing the amount of space between itself and Davka, and she is oblivious.
That sucks.
Yeah.
Yeah, I probably should warn Dafka, and I will. I will do the screech.
So you cry as loudly as you can.
Yeah, and whatever position, if we've set up, if through our previous adventures, set up a watch your 6, coming from your rear, coming from your 3 o'clock. If we have, well, we don't really have that kind of timetable. So
I think an alarmed screech from the Phyrexian.
Echelon left.
Like, people. Yeah. I mean, you're not a small unit tactics squad.
Are we not?
But no.
Don't I have that scroll?
But everybody certainly knows the difference between you screaming an alarm or you just yelling about your pretty feathers.
Yeah.
And in that, I will also probably do a dive, so that when Davka looks, we'll probably look at where the screech is coming from, and I'll dive in the direction of the creature as a distraction.
So not intended to actually strike it.
No, God, no. That's
But just as a distraction.
getting close. No.
Okay, all right. So Zocli, lets out a scream, and you turn around just in time to see, almost Freudian, a snow lion come out of the snow and pounce towards you. But Zocli's screech is enough to allow you to take the first action. Now, a snow lion, for those of you that don't know, is a rather large maned creature. As you might expect, a feline with a huge mane. And males and females have brightly colored manes and tails. And this one in particular has a mane of deep indigo that's sort of frosted over by the falling snow. And the tip of its tail is also considerably, like bushier than a normal lion. They're not believed to be intelligent, but they sort of have a complex system of growls and purrs that they use to communicate with one another. And they're widely feared especially by lonely hunters on Zenith. So it's a very large, heavily furred lion that's pouncing at you that you can actually take an action at, and Zocli is dive bombing it as a distraction.
Is it regular lion sized or is it like
Slightly larger than
Okay.
regular lion size. So think of a very large male lion, basically.
Even more terrifying.
Okay.
Nice.
I'm gonna take one of my steel knives out
Okay.
and try to. If it lunges at me, sidestep it and try to slash it as
Sure, okay.
it goes by.
All right. So that is a blades check.
Okay.
So blades test. So you're rolling blades plus vigor. So in a combat roll, we don't care about the steps of success, like the 2, 4, 6. We don't care. We're just counting from 0 to 6. So 0 to 6 is the number of successes that we're counting.
Okay.
That's what matters. The stages don't matter in combat.
Okay.
There are, if you roll a 4 on the spirit die, that actually is going to add a point to your fury.
Okay.
And fury is temporary spirit that you can use in this combat.
Okay.
Now there are combat maneuvers that we can do as well, which I didn't dive into just because they're a little bit lengthy. But they're usually in lieu of a proper attack. So, like whether you're just crouching in defense or whether you're trying to, aim for the thing's throat or anything like that. But most of them are instead of a proper attack. But they do cost spirit points. So, but you just sound like you're not, you're just trying to sidestep.
I'm trying to dodge, and if the line comes close enough in the dodge, slash at it.
Gotcha.
So dodge, counter strike, basically. Or
Gotcha. Let's see. Okay. Yeah. Just roll as is. I'm gonna make sure I wasn't forgetting anything.
all right. So I'm blades and vigor.
Blades and vigor plus the spirit die. Yep.
7.
So it's a single success.
Yeah, 7 and a 3.
All right. So you barely manage to sort of roll out of the way, and you think you connect with the blade as the thing pounces towards you, but you manage to get out of its way.
Okay.
But you can't you didn't really sink the blade in, but you definitely sort of grazed it as you got out of the way.
Can I yell something out?
Sure.
Naya, torch it.
So all you're doing at this point is
Yes. So here,
Yep.
if this lion is hungry, this snow lion is hungry. I assume that the easier prey would be the best thing for it. We just happen to have a dead captain. We probably removed some of that wreckage to build our lean-to, just laying them out. So in my distraction, I'm going to try to draw the creature to the fresh meat, as it were, that's already there.
so you're gonna try to lure the thing
Lure it towards the fresh meat of the captain. We wouldn't have
back
buried.
towards the camp.
No, the captain. He's over there. We wouldn't have put the body next to the camp. That's
Well,
disgusting.
no, but you're close enough to the thing. You're trying to use some of it as a windbreak or something, I assume.
Well, we would have moved it away or moved his body away. That's just gross to keep a body so close to the camp, and also very anti-hygienic.
So you honestly think that if a hunter has a choice between a fresh kill
And still
or
fresh
something
kill.
that has been dead for
A couple
half
hours.
a day
An
and half
hour,
frozen already,
maybe an hour and a half.
Maybe we can poke it so it moves, and he'll think that it's alive.
But it's still easy eats.
Okay.
It doesn't have, lions are notoriously lazy.
Yeah, I'm not. Okay, go ahead.
That's my thought.
Okay.
And
Not a lion, for the record.
snow lion.
Snow lion.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah. For easy vocabulary, called a snow lion.
Snow
Different
lion.
species entirely.
Yes, I get
Yeah.
that. Dag
As a
nabbit.
general rule, we don't have real world animals.
Right, right, of
there's
course.
There's some crazy variation. So don't assume you know the ecology of lions.
As a matter of fact, I do have a scroll that is the ecology of Zenith.
So for the record,
It says
so for the,
topic of my choice,
Right. So for the record, that would actually be a topic that you would pick at the beginning of a character creation.
which I just did.
It seems to me like you were referencing a wide variety of other things.
Somebody's gonna
the
get
art of, the art of wisdom of diplomacy.
This is the scroll of many things.
This-
Yeah, it's
Many
a
things,
really
right.
long
Right.
scroll.
I'm a
I
specialist in nothing.
I get a feeling you're about to find out how high a snow lion can jump.
That would be fine, but for role playing purposes, that is what I like to do. I'd like to try to direct the creature towards the easy food that
Direct the
could
creature
distract it, so that
toward-
we might be able to escape or at least get a better defensive.
So while he's doing that, so I hear his
Uh-huh.
cry, and my first order of business is I want to just kind of quickly survey the area and see if there's any more.
Okay.
Right,
Give me a perception or a beast ways check.
Okay. Yes.
That's actually a really good idea.
I'm gonna have you do what's effectively what we call an outmaneuver,
Okay.
which is sort of a vaguely defined catch-all thing for those sorts of stunts, if you will.
Okay.
It will cost you 2 spirit points. Now, in this instance, spirit points aren't meant to represent necessarily the depletion of your will, but they are an exertion, if you will,
Sure.
of your bravery and whatnot.
Yeah.
So I'll come back to you in a moment.
Just highest number?
No,
Or
this is a skill
successes?
check. This is not
Oh.
opposed, so it's not an open
Sorry.
test. So
4 successes.
okay, so that's quite good. So that is a radiant success.
It is quite
so so as far as you can tell, this thing appears to be alone.
Okay.
You have no sense of you're making sure that you're not being distracted by the chaos in front of you, and you're making sure that there's not a giant fanged beast sneaking up on
Right.
from behind.
Lioness is just like
Right.
Right. Well, and I didn't want to like run off and leave Nora and Algier behind
Right,
for
right.
the rest of the pack or
Okay,
something.
so you are attempting to distract this thing and get its attention.
Yeah. Using my flying capoeira, which we are all familiar with.
Give me a. I think I need a beast ways check.
All right.
So if you're trying to lure this thing to a different part of the terrain, I need a beast ways check. We're gonna be so open test. So I need the highest single number you can get.
Seven. Oh, and I got a 4.
So that means it's an 8.
An 8.
Major success is an 8. Okay. All right.
How distracted with my beautiful plumage. I dance back and forth in the air. You know it.
Some sort of weird bird kung fu.
Yeah.
Were you there in that room?
He was not
You were in the
there.
room. I don't know if he was paying attention. He was on the other side of the
It's
room.
crouching tiger, hidden turkey.
Crouching tiger, hidden turkey. Okay, so with swoops and sort of aggressive squawks and big flourishes of your feathers and flapping of wings,
Yes.
you get this thing's attention, and it does a few sort of half-hearted like pounces and lunge in your direction. You're gonna have to keep at it, but you've drawn its attention away from Davka at least.
All right. Nice.
So what is your intent from here?
So how far away from them am I? I was back in our.
Sure. So
proper,
you can make out the shapes of this. I mean, the lion in its lunge.
30 yards away.
Yeah, probably not even that far. Yeah.
okay.
Yeah.
All right.
Davka is well past.
So how big is a snow lion relative to my size?
You're bigger, so snow lion's probably like 3.5 foot tall at the shoulder. So you outmass it.
Okay.
But not by much.
Okay.
It's pretty heavily built, right?
Sure. Okay. And you're still in the air?
Oh, yeah. Doing that thing. Ooh.
But yeah, like if it were to stand up and put its paws on you, it would probably come like here.
Right.
So it's large, but not.
Okay.
You're much bigger.
All right. I'm going to take a running start at it and use my brawl and just try to hit it with the full force of my body
You're just
weight.
trying to.
I'm going to outline it.
You're gonna outline it. Okay.
Mandarel in it.
All right. So you're just trying to hurt the thing. You're not trying to do any particular.
I'm trying to send it a message that
You're-
there's prey elsewhere. This isn't
Okay.
where you're going to
Okay.
find.
All right.
Yeah.
So that's a straight brawl roll.
Right.
Hit him with the curve.
Let me see, hang on.
Double hammer fist. That always ends the battle.
Double hammer fist.
All right. So, interestingly, I only again as sort of asterisk. There is specifically we have I think it's pyroid. George, is it the pyroid chroma or is it a mite chroma? There's either a pyro or a mite chroma that allows you to basically like spiritually prove that you're a tougher animal than this other animal.
Oh, it's like
is.
a intimidate sort of a.
Yeah,
like-
but it's specifically against animals.
Yeah.
It's might. Oh, okay, so most pyro pyro wouldn't be able to take it, but for other things you can. Yeah.
Nice.
But at any rate, so
It's fine. Gonna hit him hard.
you're gonna hit him hard.
Yeah.
Okay.
Legendary.
So all you're doing is counting successes.
Okay.
We're not looking at 2, 4, 6. You just 0 through 6.
3 successes.
3 successes. All right.
It's not bad.
Not bad.
Okay. So you're not swinging a fist. You're just sort of like shoulder, like body checking it.
Just gonna go up and basically just try to knock it as hard as I can and
Yeah.
Okay.
probably, yeah.
All right.
Like Cape Buffalo, boom.
Yes.
Right. Okay.
yeah.
All right. So there's with the sort of spray of snow, the Pyro's massive feet go charging through the white curtain and slam into the side of this lion. And send it. It catches just a little bit of air, but it lands on its feet and almost spins around to face you after you've knocked it backwards a bit. You've got its attention. That's for sure.
All right, that worked.
It's not really interested in the bird anymore. That's for certain. Algier, do you want to do anything quickly as this is sort of unfolding in front of you, or are you just looking after the girl?
I am standing between it and her.
Okay.
And I'm making myself as big as possible.
Okay.
With all my branches out.
Okay. All right. Oops. Alrighty. As if we're attempting to size you up, the lion sort of comes at you and gives a few swipes at you that seem to be almost like half-hearted, like almost like when you see cats fight and they sort of swat at one another and they're not really looking to kill. It's trying to come back at you to prove that it's bigger than you are. You're going to take 2 wounds.
Okay.
So just mark those on the next step. So as long as you haven't hit a red thing, those are just scratches.
Yep.
So from there, the players we can make extra moves. We can let Scott go first, and Scott's right there in the thick of it. Or we could let Dovka do something, having recovered from slipping out of the way.
I feel like Dovka probably would be best suited to. And then, what do you think? You want to roll into it? I feel like you want to. I can tell in your fiery eyes.
No, I mean, if I do anything, my next thing is to scare it with fire.
Oh, sure.
Yes, the magic of fire.
How far away is the lion from me?
I mean, it's if you ran, you could get to it.
No, but if I threw the knife as a throwing weapon,
Oh, you can throw the knife.
I would close enough to hit it.
Yeah, you kind of you kind of probably dropped to one knee and rolled a bit when you dipped out of the way, so you didn't get that far.
Okay.
And now it's distracted by the giant red warrior woman.
Okay, I'm gonna try to hit it with one of the knives.
Okay, so you can make a blades check,
All right.
or wind lore even.
I don't have Windlord, just gonna do blades.
I'll throw blades then. So you're just trying to sink one into his flank. You're not trying to put out an eye or sink it in
No,
its throat or
I'm just
anything?
I'm trying to just hit it either with the blade or the hand. I'm just trying to hit it just to distract it from. But if I can injure it, yeah. I'm trying to throw it so the blade sinks in, but as long as I hit it.
Got it. So just for so you can sort of see some of the options that are available in combat. For 2 spirit points, you could attempt a more accurate throw.
Uh-huh.
And if you succeed at your roll, the value of the spirit die now turns into added damage
Okay.
instead of potentially.
And do I
generating
do that
spirit
before
points.
or after I roll?
You do that before you roll. You have to spend 2 spirit points in an attempt to sort of strike a more vulnerable spot.
Yeah, I'll do that.
Okay, so 2 spirit points, and you're trying to get it good.
All right.
1, 2. So that's a success. So you get to add the value of the spirit die. So 4. So hit it for 4.
Okay.
So and that's just 2 spirit points to do that. Okay.
Okay.
It sinks into the lion's haunches, and you're rewarded with a sort of a painful growl from this thing. And you see this blur of motion through the snow, and then it sort of flinches, and you can there's a bit of pale red now that's in the snow as it's dripping out of this thing's flank.
Okay.
And you can make an attack.
Okay. So the lion doesn't seem to be backing down.
Not yet, but it's definitely a little more distracted, and
Okay.
there's a certain way that felines kind of look when they're cornered, like dangerous, but possibly ready to run in a minute.
Okay. All right. I'm gonna use Survivor Spark.
Oh, okay.
See if fire will scare it away.
Okay.
Oh, that's not very good. That's nothing.
That's awful.
That's the worst it could be.
Is that a shatter?
No. You only shatter if you spend more.
More.
Yeah.
Okay.
The success of the roll doesn't cause a shatter or failure of the roll. Shatter only occurs if you spend more spirit than you have.
No.
Okay.
That's
So shatter's relatively infrequent.
Instead, you
Okay.
produce a
Coffee.
sparkler.
So it costs you one.
One? Okay.
Yeah. So a pale wisp of smoke comes out of one of your fingers.
Yeah.
Doesn't make a sad sound.
Yeah. That was disappointing.
All right. So you ready for?
Yes.
So if I spend 2 like he did, I can have a more accurate attack.
Sure. Yep.
All right. So I will do that. I want to fly down Talon and try to snatch one of his eyes.
You're just going for its eyes.
Yeah,
Okay. All
snatch
right.
an
So
eye
2
out.
spirit points. So that's a.
Why am I the model for that?
Well, because you're closest.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
So yeah.
Hey,
So
can you grab my knife while you're? No, okay.
That sounds like a lot of work.
okay. So 2 spirit points right off the top.
Yeah, I took it.
So,
I'm down
and
to
do you have
2.
fury points?
Do I have what?
Fury points.
I don't have any fury.
Okay. All right. Then you don't, because you could have used fury points instead.
Yeah.
Speaking of which, did you have a fury point from a previous roll?
No.
No. Okay. All right. Okay. So basically, you're making your attack roll.
Yeah. Is this going to be wind lore because I'm flying
Wind roll
in?
plus might.
I'm okay with
Yeah,
that.
yeah. So as long as you succeed, which is to say, at least as long as you get at least 1 success,
Yeah.
then whatever the value of the spirit die is, you can add that to your total successes.
Oh, wow. Okay.
So, which is quite good, right? Like you're trying to do. But what happens is, spirit's
Yeah.
finite. Like it's not, And again, this being a one shot, like we're a little faster and looser with our spirit points. But
Yes.
but you play a couple adventures and you realize like, oh, I need to make sure that I'm being at least partially aware of what I'm doing here.
All right. So 2 and 1.
So 3 points.
3 points.
Okay. All right. So while you don't take out an eye, you certainly like claw the crap out of its snout. Like you do this dive bomb, and the thing sort of looks up, with a snarl and a string of saliva sort of goes through the air as you're sort of flapping back and forth and clawing at its
Yeah.
face, and you
do.
tear its face all up. And with that, it's lunging toward you as it's sort of leaping up in an effort to take out this thing that's clawing at its face. There are a few. It strikes home for but 1 point of damage, and then it turns tail.
All right.
With the dripping out of its haunches and its face all scarred up, it runs into the snow.
Nice.
Wow.
I don't know what's worse. That if we were attacked by a snow lion or that Zockley
Scared him away.
it away.
Thank you, ladies and gentlemen.
Hey. I helped we both helped tenderize the damn thing.
Oh, for sure. I give you much more
Yeah,
credit.
and
But you're not going to brag about it.
We got a trail, and we got a trail to follow too now. If we want to follow,
I mean, you have to remember, I grew up with this one. We're going to be hearing about this for
Eons.
Now,
it's like, yeah, I kicked it, I stabbed it, I scratched its nose,
Oh, no.
and then it ran.
I
It's
can't
like,
Are you- vicious
is anybody
dive.
interested in the behind-the-scenes rules that might have happened there, or do you want to just keep rolling with the narrative?
No, sure.
I mean,
Enlighten us.
If it helps, I mean, you're here to explain it. So
Well, so many of the beasts, the things that are definitely more animal-like instead of intelligent, have all enemies or beasts have something called surges, which basically it triggers a special ability when they roll a 4 on the spirit die.
Nice.
Right, but certain of the more animalistic beasts have something that triggers if they roll a 1 on the spirit die, and that it's a rule called just an animal after all. And if the wound level of the creature, if the health points have been reduced below a certain point, if ever they roll a 1 on the spirit die, they will flee.
Oh, nice.
So, and it's usually percentage. So, everybody having struck it a few times, its health points were low enough that if I had rolled a 1 on the spirit die, which I did, it would flee, and so it did.
translation: don't break your arm, pat yourself on the back. You got lucky. That lion really wanted to whoop your ass.
Well, first off, Zockley doesn't understand that was just said.
Okay.
All he knows is that he came down in a flurry of feathers and fearsomely let that snow lion know who's
I'm-
boss.
I imagine him sitting in the snow now, just sort of preening his feathers and looking very proud of himself,
Yeah.
very accomplished.
And wondering, how many scrolls will it take for me to write this wonderful
Tail.
I'm,
tail
down, I'm
up?
down one knife, so I'm kind of like,
Yeah.
damn it.
Yeah, can't lose your weapons. Claw, claw. Talon, talon.
Hilarious.
Whatever.
Okay. So the lion having been scared off, what do we do from here?
I'm not gonna wait around for it to come back with its friends.
With more.
I think
Yeah.
I think we should pack up and get some distance between us and
Yeah. Any other potential threats in this region? Yeah.
Frozen Lion King.
Let's go find some new potential